Election process in India. Election system in India. In a vast country like India, which has a enormous pollution, it may be difficult for all the peoples to gather and take decision. So the need for election arise. In India is the largest domestic country in the world. Since independence, a strong basic of for domestic whiles way was led by elections. The election communication for of India conduct elections in our country. It flames a code of a conductor to the parliament political parties. It delighted the result of the elections and submit to the central or a state government. By this, it becomes easy to form the government. The Election Commission of India. The Election Commission of India is came into existence on 25th January 1950. This is an autonomous constitutions body with an authority that prepares electoral rolls of conduct elections in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha state liberatory bodies, the president and the vice president. Autonomous states of election communication. It is very difficult to construct elections in India because of a huge population. During the British rule, only 14% of percentage of population had right to vote the elections. At the time of first general election in 1952, there was 17.32 crores voters. At the present, the number of voters in Avon 67 crores for such a country. The election communication constructs election with the help of about 45 lakh staff. The Central Election Communication has no separate staff to conduct the elections. As per the Articles 324 of the Constitution, with the permission to the President of India and the Governor of the state, and it utilizes the service to central and state government employees. During such a times of the election communication has a complete control over the government department. The Chief Election Commissioner. The Chief Election Commissioner is head of the election communication of India. Indian Constitution generates constraints powers of the Chief Election Commissioner to conduct the elections for central and state generators in a smooth and a fair manner. Usually she or he is from Indian civil service. His or her turns in 6 years or up to 65 years of age, which even in the early the election commissioner communication of India has only one election commissioner, so 3 members commissioner has comes into existence from 1993 with one chief election commissioner and 2 election commissioners. In India political system, the election commission has been played an important role and after T.N. Sehan 1990 to 1996 assumed to office, the election commissioner earned to considerable popularity. He looked many efforts to integrate the corruptions in elections of India. There was a natural wide recognition to the powers of the election commissioner. Functions of election commission. Article 324 to 326, Part 15 of the Constitution states of the formation, parts of functions and the election commission. The functions are classified as 3. The functions are classified as administrative functions, advisory function and quasi-judicial functions. It frames a implement of code of considered to be followed by the parties during elections. It appointed the accused officers to observe electoral malpractices. The advice of the president and the governor of the state regarding the disqualification of the representatives of the to the parliament and the state liberty it solved the disputes between parties at this time. It acts like a quasi judicial authority as per guidelines issued by the election commissioner of the india. All the peoples when attained the age of 18 years or the before the 1st January in the year of the elections, irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, gender, language, etc., shall be registered as the vote. The right to vote without any discrimination is called as a universal adult franchise. The body of voters is called as a electorate. Political parties in elections. A political party is formed when it has been written code to construct a result as the election commissioner. This party symbol can be allotted by the election commissioner based on the mandated the election parties and delighted the election commissioner. Religions or national parties in the state, if the party gets 3% of votes of three assembly seats, it is designated as a regional parties. A party can recalled in a more than one state if party is recalled in the four states with 6% of the vote or 11 lakh Lok Sabha's MP seats for four different states is called as a national party. Election code. Elections, the code of construction. The election communication announced the assurance of the election scenes in the model code of a construct some comes into efforts. According to this, all the peoples are candidated contesting the elections shall abide by the rules or regulations of the election commissioner. Voting the rules and regulations is treason and has malpractice for each which disciplinary action should be indicated. Key points of code to constitute. First, the contending candidate, the political parties shall not make a statement pertaining to caste, religion, or when citizens or the parties. No person comments shall be made the vote related to political life. No party's announcements tease a caste or a religion should be made in the place such as churches, temples, and holy places, educational institutions. So, institutions, no candidate should be conceived camping. No vote should be used cast his or her vote in another identify. Everyone has the right to lead a peaceful life, thinking or realizing in the reduced areas and picking against to the role. Conducting rallies and public gathering. The political parties should obtain permission from the local police to conduct public gathering. They should inform to the police about the place of gathering and time so that the police would make arrangements to protect law or and order and regularize the traffic movements. There must be taken present permission to use loudspeakers. If anyone constitute the public gathering, they shall not directly act instant inform the public. One on the day of polling, the polling personnel shall make all the arrangements to the voters to cast their vote in domestic and peaceful atmosphere. Ladies of the political parties, leaders of the political parties shall compute the polling staff and discharge their duties. The polling agent sitting in the polling booth shall be issued identify cards. The name of the party symbols shall not be on these cards. There are not be any poster, flags, symbols and election material in the camp. Any kind of food shall not be kept in the camp. Ruling parties at the time of elections. There is a change to the ruling parties to influence the voters by misusing the powers. In order to check this, the election commissioner has laid down some rules and regulations. They are: the ruling party leaders shall not misuse the power. They should not use for parties leading workers. Their official visits and parties related visits should not be misnamed. They should not use government vehicles for camping. If more than three secret vehicles are used in campaigning, it should not be shown in polling extension. The public property like government buildings, offices, place shall not be used for campaigning the any part. After the election, nominations is issued to ruling government shall not release any gates, make payments and announce any new shellments. There should not start any new project or give any kind of permission promise. Conduct the elections at arise levels. The chief electoral officer at the state level assigns the election commissioner in India. She or he is appointed by the Election Commission of India as controlling at the state government. This post does not have a constitutional state. Generally, a senior most IAS officer are appointed. The election to be parliament and state assembly are not had under his or his motoring. At the district level, the district collector acts as the chief election officer. To conduct a modification elections, very constituency of officer is appointed. She or he is called as a returning officer. Their nominations must be supported by the last one registered election of the constitution. Though the another are called the independents. The returning officer sustains nominations are announced the eligible containing candidates list. The contesting candidates are given the option to withdraw the nominations within a specified period. Later, the returning officer should declare the final list of contesting candidates. The constituencies. The party candidates are allotted by the party symbols and independents will be allotted by the symbols enabled at the time. After the names and symbols of the contesting candidates are entered into EVMS electronic voting machine. The same procedure is followed to conduct elections to the parliament and state assemblies and local self-governing bodies. Voting machines. The chief election officers in district make electoral arrangements conducted to the polls. The election commissioner appointed observed to the manor polls on the polling day. One day, on the day the polling, all the voters whose names are allotted to the electron list and are allowed to the cast their voting against to the polling staff and identify the voters who are appointed by the contesting candidates. In the case EVM is not there, swastik mark shall be allowed applied on the ballot paper. Fold into the paper mirror and put in the ballot box. General elections are conducted for every 5 years and national state levels. Before communication of the 5 years terms, if the elections are held and either assemblies or parliament are called mid-term elections. The elections are conducted for one or more valleys or termed as by-elections. Vote or reject. Vote or reject. Nota, none of the above. On the basis of judgment given by the Supreme Court in 2013 in the case of People Union of Civil Liberatory Nota is introduced. The Supreme Court stated that nota is a part of the freedom of expression. Nota was the introduced as a option in the state assembly elections held in Delhi, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh in 2013. Nota is an option only. It does not efforts either in winning or the losing capability of the candidates. If the highest number of pollings are allowed for nota, the candidate who stands second position would be delighted win. The need of electoral reforms. The India is the second most prosperous country in the world. It is a huge task to conduct elections in India. Every political party promised to give a governance, social, economic equality, and the of the poverty. Their parties lead some to make fun or election process. Even though there are some problems in the domestic process, many examples in similar to deleted politicals made our democracy point.